Welcome back, everybody. I am the Yimmer, and this is Starter Ship Scrimmage 5 Thrifty Threesome. So this is going to be the inspection video. I'm going to go through all the entries I have received and take a look at them, see how they do in a mirror match, and that'll be it. I'm not going to do any of the actual battles in this episode. But we will get a chance to look at all the entries and see how they perform in a solo match. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So I got 11 entries, I believe. We got the Agrippa by Cythphn, Animal Z by RyMarq, Black Dove Fleet by Dragon Slayer, Brood War by myself, the Jimmer, Cheap Fleet by Tomson, Cheap Thrills by Ipsok, Cooked by Eggs, Fusion by Xalinsky, Gunboat Diplomacy by Harness, Militia by MrNukealizer, and Versatility by AdNecrias. So first up, I'm just going to go in alphabetical order. First up, we've got the Agrippa by Cythphn. Go ahead and get this loaded in. Go ahead and just slow down time just so everything doesn't fly away. It's there. That's the sub. Where's the plane? There it is. Okay. So let's take a look at the plane first, just so it doesn't fly too far away. So overall, not too bad. Coming in right at the minimum cost. So not wasting any extra materials on the plane. Actually, I should have checked the overall blueprint cost before I... Oh yeah, we're good. 300 materials to spare. Got data blades for the wings, some ailerons, and then a bunch of data blades for propulsion, tailplanes, and then looks like a fixed gun here. Let's see what the gun is firing. An Omni Mantlet, 118mm twin barrel, yeah, twin barrels. And let's take a peek at the shells. Alright, the weird short or something in my microphone wire. It occasionally gets a little staticky. Apologies for that. Alright, and looks like Sabot and Base Bleeder. This looks like it's going to be taking out enemy planes and doing some extra bonus damage to the boats, but not going to be much help against the submarines. And I think that covers everything we need to look here. Actually, let me just kind of double check and refresh my memory on all the rules, make sure I am looking at everything. There are specific rules for each vehicle, so I guess for those that haven't been following along and are just kind of jumping in at this point, the airplane has to have, it can only have fixed guns and it can only have guns, so cram cannons, the advanced projectile system or APS guns, and simple weapons. I can use those as well, but no turrets. Everything has to be fixed. As far as weapons, I guess you can have turrets for propulsion, or the Dedi blocks or the Dedi blades here that you see, or the helicopter blades. Those are allowed. All right, so the plane is good. Let's take a look at the submarine next. If I can find it. That's the boat. This must be the sub. No. Here we go. Yeah, once again, just a little bit over the minimum cost. So it looks like all of the extra materials, all the bonus materials went into the boat. Not a bad strategy. I went for something pretty much the same myself. The boat is your biggest vehicle already, so it makes sense to put those materials into that, most likely to last until the end of the battle. Got a pretty straightforward submarine here, stone and metal, and actually a little bit of heavy armor here as well, and a battery of vertical launch missiles, or actually torpedoes. No missile pods on there, so they're going to stay in the water and do lots of fragmentation damage. Lots of redundancy. We've got hydrofoils as well as the propellers for maneuvering and staying where you want to be. Got an active sonar for making sure those torpedoes go where you want them. Not a bad design. Alright, and finally we're going to look at the ship itself. This is the Agrippa. Yeah, and you can see using up the it includes the cost of the other vehicles in here, since the sub-vehicle spawners are located somewhere on here, but this would be, without those other two vehicles, it would be right around 20,000, not quite 20,000 materials. See a composite armor, wood and stone, and looks like alloy. Some metal as well. Yeah. So a good composite armor, getting the most defense for those materials. It's like a small engine, single small engine, and a very traditional battleship type design. And for the boat, I don't know if I mentioned it. For the submarine, you're only allowed missiles and torpedoes, and then for the boat, you're allowed missiles, torpedoes, guns, pretty much whatever you want. Energy weapons and shields are banned universally, just not allowed in this tournament, just to kind of keep things a little more interesting. But other than that, you're free to build whatever you wish. Looks like twin firing pieces with 300 millimeters. And what are we firing here? Sabot with super cavitation. So these can hit, these can do damage to anything. They can go through the water. I imagine these are probably, this is the next turret over. Jump into the next turret. Yeah, these are all going to be the same setup. So Sabot, so kinetic rounds with super cavitation. So they will hit underwater targets as easily as they will hit air targets. That looks like twin turrets. Yeah, so let's look. I'm guessing anti-missile missiles here. Yeah, missile interceptors for taking out incoming enemy missiles. Overall, pretty straightforward, traditional design. All the way around. Traditional sub, traditional boat, traditional plane. Overall, nice looking, and looks to be like they will be fairly effective. Let's do the mirror match. Mirror match. And I don't imagine any of these mirror matches are really going to be necessary. The idea behind it is usually we do the mirror match to make sure there is a 10% damage done. But in this tournament, I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. I just kind of want to see everything, get a little preview of the vehicles in action. You can see missing a wing there. Ouch. Oh, missing a turret off the front. See the it's like the subs launching torpedoes. Torpedoes are very fast. God, doing a decent amount of damage too. Yeah, I'm feeling these battles are going to be quick. You can see already managing to hit that 10% threshold. So that is the Agrippa, Ahasuerus, and Ahab by Cythphn. Nice entry. Got several entries to get through, so I'm going to go ahead and keep on moving. Next up, we've got the Animal Z by RyMarq. Coming in right at the material limit here. I'm going to do the same deal and slow down time. Oh, very, very nice. I like the airship. That is cool. Got a hydro tank and a interesting submarine. Yeah, overall very, very interesting. I like the go right from very traditional designs to very untraditional designs. Yeah, I guess we'll go follow the same path. Take a look at the aircraft first. So this is just like floating in there. Oh, there's one. Okay, so there's one wood slope there. This has got to be helium. A helium generator in here somewhere, I'm guessing. Yeah, a helium pump. Is there one in here too? I just didn't see. Yeah, right there. Okay, yeah, helium pump. So it is a traditional airship. It looks like an underslung turret. Is this even a turret, or is it just a... Oh no, it can't be a turret. It's got to be a fixed gun because it's an aircraft. Metal pole. Hollow point rounds. Do they have base bleeder? Yeah, base bleeder, and so not really gonna be useful against the sub, but should be really strong against enemy ships. Those hollow points will do lots of damage. I'll just open back here. It's like I would say going a little bit more for sort of interesting design. Kind of like an owl look to it. But going more for interesting design as opposed to functional. Oh yeah, bloated owl makes sense. Oh, Animal Z. Okay. Sorry, I'm not the quickest hammer in the crayon box, as they say. Next up, we got the Hammerhead Dolphin. Oh, it's the spawn stick sits floating on top. I was like, what is that? So ignore the triangles on top. That is just the spawn stick for getting everything spawned in correctly. And how does this guy work? So hydrofoils, propellers. Got a decent amount of, actually a steam engine in here too. That's interesting. Got a good resource budget this time, not starving you guys quite as bad as I usually do. Got 2k resources for repairs and ammo and steam engines, as you see here. And we've got a medium torpedoes, single explosive, TPG, torp propeller, proximity fuse. Interesting choice. I guess it doesn't really get that free volume, so it doesn't really hurt you too much to do that. and will detonate even if it is a near miss. And then looks like a sonar buoy ballast tank, so a anti-torpedo measure there. Will works kind of like a flare for torpedoes for those that are unfamiliar. But overall, a nice design. I like the sub. This feels a bit more practical. Well, still looking very nice. And then the sea turtle. I think this is going to be the most dangerous of the entries. This looks like, is this a repurposed? This looks like a lot like the this must be his tank from the Starship scrimmage, whatever, when we were doing the tanks. I bet it is. This is RyMarq's Starship scrimmage. Was it tank? Did we just do the tanks? Yeah, we did. Golden Chariot. No, so it's not the Golden Chariot. Yeah, that was actually a really neat entry. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But this does, it looks familiar. It looks like one of the tanks, but it must just be a coincidence. Either way, got a nice hydro tank here. Big old tank turret. It's like fairly rapid fire. We've got AP solid with base bleeders. And, oops, sabot and some tracers. So some sabot tracers mixed in there for better accuracy. And lots of propellers at the back. And I'm assuming some hydrofoils along the sides. No hydrofoils? How does it stay? Yeah, it's not floating. Not with all this metal. Did I just miss the hydrofoils? Oh, maybe it does. Alloy on the sides. I would have expected a bunch of hydrofoils to keep it from sinking, but it looks like it uses actual buoyancy, which is even more impressive. Alright, I think that is all the vehicles. Let's do the mirror match. Oh, no, I'm in the wrong thing. Yeah, it looks like it uses actual buoyancy and sort of sitting low in the water. Be careful not to turn into a submarine, but yeah, it looks like it has enough buoyancy to stay afloat. Kind of what you expect with an airship. Ate some shots and is going down. That said, this one is managing to stay airborne. See if we can find the submarine. Submarine doing a little jump in there. Right, yeah, torpedoes have gotten much faster. They used to be fairly slow, but those are medium torpedoes. You can see pretty speedy. Yeah, sea turtle living up to its name. Very hard shell. Not really taking much damage at all from those torpedoes. I love the porpoising there. by the dolphin. Probably would be more effective if it stayed nice and deep in the water, but it looks pretty cool at least. The poor owl down in the drink, but still landed shots. Oh, gonna be a collision. We're actually supposed to have 10% damage in 2 minutes, but you know what? I like this entry. I'm gonna allow it and just say it's bad luck this time. I don't think it's trying to be too evasive. That's for sure. Alright, next entry. Very nice. I dig it. 10 out of 10. Top 5 for sure. Next up we have the Black Dove Fleet by Dragon Slayer. Alright, slow things down. First impressions, very, very nice. As far as aesthetics go, the best so far. Who was this by? Yeah, Dragon Slayer. Very, very nice. Got the submarine. Boat, looks kind of like a speedboat. And that jet is beautiful. Let's take a look at that jet first. Very nice. It's like a modern fighter jet. Came in at around 8,000. So putting some extra materials into this, but could be worth it. Ooh, only a 1 meter Omni mantlet. That's gonna be tricky. It's hard to get the AI to actually line up. Look at how that's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be a squash HE gunpowder. Yeah, this is going to be like a gauze gun out of an A10. It's actually able to line up and dump the clip. It'll do a lot of damage. Radiator. Yeah, looks like a fairly standard jet. Got the wings where you'd expect them, the tail where you'd expect it, and a big old gun taking up the fuselage. The only thing sketchy to me is that 1 meter Omni mantlet. I would have gone with the 3 meter Omni mantlet. I know it doesn't look as nice, but you'd have a much better chance of getting your shells to fire. All right, and let's take a look. This is the Shade Submarine. Right at the minimum resources for the sub, so not wasting any bonuses on this. Looks really nice. Other than that, I mean, looks like a pretty standard submarine. Just a single small launcher, but some good size subs. Oh, looks like, yeah, this is the combo launcher here. So you've got a thruster, as well as the torpedoes, a couple turning thrusters, and a whole lot of explosives. Oh, a sticky flare on there for good measure. 1 turn, yeah, it looks like overall pretty good. Should be good underwater or in the air. So sub or pretty much hit any of the vehicles. So a nice effective design there. And finally, let's take a look at the boat. Love the line. It's very sleek. Looks very fast and stealthy, and dangerous. Surge protectors. That's smart. EMP is allowed and will wreak havoc at this size. Pretty good size engine, and lots of missiles. Small launcher. And looks like air-to-air missiles will also work against surface targets, I suppose. TPG, infrared. Yeah, not bad. And looks like some big old torps here. Yeah, it's a torp launcher. Got it. It's got to be. Yep, torpedo propellers, frags, sonar. So missile heavy on the sub and the boat. Not a bad idea. And looks like an air-to-air fighter for dealing with those pesky enemy planes. Actually, that makes more sense. So it looks like this is truly a fighter. Gonna shred the enemy aircraft, and then the sub and the boat will take out the enemy sub and boat. Overall, really nice entry. I take it. 10 out of 10. Top 5 for sure. Oh. What's that? Double check and make sure I'm spawning where I said I was going to. Yeah, spawn 1,000 meters distance, sea level facing towards the enemy. 1,000 meters distance, sea level facing the enemy. Maybe I'll just give it like a 2, just yeah, it does make a difference. That is unfortunate. Oops. There we go. There we go. So, just a quick rundown. I just flipped. There's a vehicle spawner on the front. For some reason, it's spawning the plane in the water. I just kind of flipped it around so it's spawning the plane in the air. Give it a little bit better chance. I usually don't mess with the entries, but you know, if it's just a quick change like that, that will allow, you know, the entry to actually be functional, yeah, I'll make that change. Yeah, you can see it just having a hard time with that 1 meter Omni Mantlet. Getting the gun pointed at the target. But yeah, both sides already getting the 10%. So let's move on. Next entry. Next up we have the best entry of all the entries. This is the Brood War by myself. Coming in right at the 30,000. Alright, and I was actually really lazy this time and didn't even bother painting my entries. They are a bit on the ugly side, but hopefully they'll be entertaining nonetheless. So first up, this is my quote-unquote aircraft. sort of more of a skimmer than a flyer. It does do small hops, but for the most part cruises along the water surface. Has a big old custom jet in here. Gets it up, as you can see, up to about 90 meters a second at its peak, but it does slow down as it dips in and out of the water. And then the only weapons are the rams. So I've got fixed rams, no spin blocks, and those run along the feet for scraping across enemies, as well as at the front here. Got a bit of a saw. This is the Sarah Kerrigan with a StarCraft theme, and I think this embodies the Sarah Kerrigan spirit of going fast, crashing into your enemies, and using melee damage to finish them off. And then my submarine is the Tassadar. Uses a little bit over the materials limit. Most of my bonus materials went into the boat. I mean, pretty standard submarine. Like as a nice sleek shape. I think this one actually turned out looking the best, but nothing too fancy. Stone armor, and got explosive torpedoes, little small torpedoes here on the front with explosive on one side and explosive on the other. I thought I put EMP on one side, but it looks like I did not. So that is the Tassadar submarine. And next we will look at the James Rainer. This is my boat. See, it is a sort of hydrofoil. It rides high in the water, reduces drag, and keeps it stable. Isn't super fast, and decently armored. Got stone and metal. And then we've got 4 identical turrets here, and sort of low caliber spam guns. I forget where these are shooting. I think I went with Hesh. Yeah, squash heads. That's Hesh, right? I always mix up the shape charge and squash head. Yeah, I don't know. They're squash heads. And these do have super cavitation, so they can hit planes and the decent speeds. They'll hit planes or submarines or boats or whatever. So should have a good chance of hitting any of the enemies. And sort of the Jim Raynor, if you're familiar with StarCraft, kind of makes sense. He was the Marine, Terran Marine. So we've got the sort of high-speed minigun style turrets, and that is, oh yeah, we got to do the mirror match. And here we go. See the Sarah Kerrigan bouncing along the water, flying low. And yeah, you can see that ram damage is no joke. Taking out all the turrets there, and then self-destructing. See if we can get a shot of the Tassadar. It's doing its thing, firing torpedoes and being sneaky. Probably the least fitting name, but I couldn't think of anything else to name it. So that is my entry, the Brood War. Let's move on, next entry. Next we have Cheap Fleet by Tomson. Went in right at the limit there. And as always, Tomson always makes really good looking stuff. And this is no exception. An absolutely gorgeous battleship. I have no idea how you managed to pull this off. Oh, I see autocannons, that's how. That's actually not bad. Autocannons, for their price, are really effective. Especially with no shields allowed. If you have shields, they tend to just bounce on the shields. But no shields, yeah, this is actually represents a lot of potential damage. And yeah, it just looks very nice. Very nice. So I guess we'll go through, do how we traditionally do it. Look at the plane first. This is the B499 bomber, coming in right at the limit. 5,000 clips. How does this work? Shells. Just frags. Frag warhead, frag body. And it must be... Where's the firing piece? Or does it not even... Oh, I see, tricky. And it's got ammo ejectors. So how are you triggering the ammo ejectors is what I want to know. There's gotta be, you have to have a firing piece. The firing piece is right here. Yeah, I'm curious how he's getting the ejectors to actually run. Can you do that with ACBs or something now? Somebody's gonna have to explain the magickery to me. So I was under the impression to get these sort of things to work, you had to like shoot your own gun, and it would that would trigger the ejectors. But it looks like somehow he's got this set up so basically he just ejects a ton of frag rounds right over the top of the target. If it's able, that's gonna be hard to pull off. Like it's, I'm sure Tomson can do it though. He knows what he's doing in this game, and that should be really interesting to watch. I want to see this thing get a successful bombing run. I don't even care if it's against my entry, because that will be majestic. Alright, that is the bomber. Let's look at the submarine next. Fitting yellow submarine. Gotta have at least one. And yeah, it looks like pretty standard. Yeah, 5,000 materials. Got here decoy, sonar decoy, and then just one medium missile. Sonar, fragment, ballast, one turn, APN. Yeah. So the medium missiles do quite a bit more damage than the small missiles for the cost. So not a bad choice. And at that price, it's hard to get more than one, so can't really fault him for that. It's like a nice submarine. A little bit light on the armor. And right here, you got one wood slope, and then right into the ammo boxes. So even worse here, just a hydrofoil. So not planning on taking We're not planning on surviving more than 1 or 2 hits. And finally, we've got the cheap fleet mothership. Oh no, that's the spawn stick. The mini BB. There we go. And this thing is just amazing. Looks like, yeah, fairly. It's basically just wood. Oh, you know, we got some stone in here too, so not entirely paper. But yeah, I've managed to get a nice large size out of it. Yeah, using up pretty much all the bonus materials. And got the little mini turrets, auto cannons. Oh, heavy armor, wow. So yeah, it looks like the AI is well protected. Heavy armor around the AI. When the rest is sort of using, you know, bulk size to mitigate damage. Those had a duplicate AI. Yeah, duplicate AI up front here too. Also with heavy armor. So this thing, yeah. I mean, it's got, you know, it's the all or nothing approach. I think is what it's called. Where you either, you know, armor it enough to, you know, survive a direct hit, or you give it no armor at all. And that seems to be it. I think this thing is going to be really, oh, I like little deck guns. Cute. How much do those things cost? How much just, oh, I guess they're not that bad. Okay. And smoke generators on the smokestacks. Yeah, definitely the best looking design. I'd be surprised if we found a better looking entry. And there you go. See the auto cannons. Oh, nice. Looks like they've got. I missed that. It's got stacked turrets, so you get the elevation as well as the azimuth. And you can see aiming at the oh, and there we go. Yeah, you can see the ooh, you can see the fragments. Yeah, just kind of squint your eyes and we could be watching Harness's battleship tournament here. Just ignore the scaling. Alright, very nice. It's the Cheap Fleet by Tomson. Let's keep moving right along. I'm taking way too long on these. Next we got the Cheap Thrills by Ipsok. Nice. Another nice looking entry. I like the cohesive blue and white color theme. Got a chair on the spawn stick. I will take a look at the plane first. Seems really fast. Yeah, almost 80 meters a second. Hey, I went with a 3x3 Omni Mantlet. I think that is the right choice. Be the best chance to put those shells on target. So, yeah, high speed. It'd be effective. And yeah, good armor too. Surprising. This has got to be a little bit more expensive. No, not even. Yeah, this is really nice for the cost. High speed, agile, and a decent gun. I was not able to get that without going over budget. So kudos there. Nice long barrel, should be accurate. What is this? The Shrike. And then the Slash. This is the Submarine. Ramming sub. It's like, yeah, look at all those ACBs. Yeah, some magic going on there with all those. Getting this to come in and smash into its opponents. Yeah, you don't wanna step on this fish, that's for sure. That's the Slash, and then the Party Boat. Party Boat. Nice. We got the dance floor up here, the lights. The yeah. Very nice. And all that hiding. Oh, this is the I think this is the gun out of the bowl. Yeah, it definitely is. Which we saw in the tank tournament. Is yeah, this thing does some damage. So I got a few different shell types it'll cycle through, and some down props to keep it up. Very, very nice, very nice. Well, even got a little jet ski here on the back. In case things go real bad, you can jump on this and boat away. Alright, let's do the mirror match. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh goodness, I'm getting sleepy. It was a long day. We're about halfway through. You see the recoil from the gun just kind of pushes this thing around. Are the subs gonna smash into each other? Or are they just gonna pass by? Nope. I'm gonna pass on by and give it a wave. I know they're plenty past the requirement, but I want to see the Slash do its thing. Oh, nasty. Yeah, very nice. Alright, that is the Cheap Thrills by Ipsok. 10 out of 10. Top 5 for sure. Alright, moving right along, we've got the Cooked by Eggs, which is 90 materials over budget. It's unfortunate. I'm gonna have to find a way to trim that. Alright, first up we've got the Albumin. 6,000 some. Which is an aircraft and has missiles, which are not allowed. Aircraft can only have fixed guns. So Close that, and then see if there's, yeah. Submarine. Torpedoes. One turn frag. Frag torpedoes. Interesting design. All the bits out there exposed. It's kind of a strange. Got all this, you know, metal armor. At the same time, it's not really covering up the important bits here. The important bits are left exposed. I could have juggled some of that metal around and got that covered up. What is this? The shell, which is under the minimum. This was supposed to be minimum 5,000. There we go. And then find the yoke. This looks like where the majority of the resources went. Fairly lightly armored, looks like mostly wood. A little bit of metal and stone here and there. Propellers at the back. It's a bow, solid, super cav. So let's take a look at the guns one by one. Unless they're all the same. 267. This looks different. HE timed fuse, HE gunpowder casing. Those are the super cav. And these look like the anti-air. So I'm guessing this bottom gun is anti-sub. Top gun is anti-plane. And then this is the we just looked at this. Oh no, it's, I don't know. Top guns are anti-ship, anti-plane, and then the bottom one is anti-sub. I'm missing block here. So yeah, taking off those missiles now in the budget, and I think mostly fits the rules. Oh, I wonder if that seems to mess up the balance on the plane. Just immediately dove into the water. Or hopefully, I'm not sure. Hopefully it'll keep it from falling in the water. Guess that's what you get when you build your entry in 20 minutes and don't read the rules ahead of time. Yeah, there we go. Kind of. Well, I did my best. Well, this one kind of flew. It was just the one derped out. Yeah, who knows? Oh, something happened. Well, one of those guns detonated. Alright, next entry. Next we have the Fusion by Xalinsky. Alright, nice looking entry. Sort of sleek and futuristic. Take a look at the plane first. Yeah, very nice. Very, very cool, futuristic, cyberpunk aesthetic. I dig it. So yeah, spam guns. Probably Sabo spam. No, squash head. Low caliber squash. Interesting. Yeah, should be effective. Elevation mantlets, not terrible. I mean, they're not Omni mantlets, but they fit a little bit better and they're a bit cheaper. So as long as you get the turning right, shouldn't be a problem. Is that alloy? Yeah, alloy, so fairly lightly armored, but a decent speed, so should be, you know, able to dodge shells at least, and take one or two. Oh, look at what is this? Guys, not read rules. Naughty, naughty. Yeah, I'm obviously a little bit sleepy here, so if you guys notice any other rule violations in any of the craft, you know, then send me a message, leave a little note down below, and we'll get that sorted out. Okay, so that's the fire. Agrippa. It's the boat. We'll take a look at that last, and then Traitor. I dig it. Like the look, like the heavy armor. Glad you're able to use that much heavy armor and stay on budget. The armor is expensive. Sonar buoy. Oh, it's because it's not armed. So it looks like more of sort of a distraction. Not really capable of dealing damage. But we'll distract the opponents at least. Unless I'm missing something. So I believe thanks. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it looks like just distraction. And finally, we'll look at the Agrippa. This is, yeah, the main source of damage. Fairly heavily armored. It's like metal and alloy. Stone. It's like a low gauge, a similar shell that is used in the plane. Yeah, just one high-speed rapid-fire turret. Alright, and that's... Oh, I missed. This has torpedo launchers on the bottom. Boom. That big old torpedo there took a nice bite. Alright, next entry. Gunboat Diplomacy by Harness. Nice looking entry. A chronoplan. So another kind of similar to the plane that I used, quote unquote plane. This one, you know, cruises right along the water surface. It's got a transverse gun, so fixed gun that fires out of the sides. It's going to orbit and fire out of this side. Not a bad idea. Squash head, tracers. Yeah, should do a good amount of damage. I'm firing like right along the surface of the water like that. Seems you get a lot of skips, but you fire enough shots, you'll get the damage in. Oh, I like that too. The tail is vectored thrust. Very cool. Alright, then we'll take a look at the parasite. It's supposed to be these. Oh no, we'll take a look at the parasite last. Look at, where's the sub? Oh no, it is. So the parasite is under the sub? How does that work? Oh, it's like wedged into the boat. That's an interesting way to go about it. Oh, so it's actually... You got rubber. Okay, so it's just, yeah, it's like drug along Buy the boat. Very clever interpretation of the rules. Not really what I had intended, but not really breaking any rules. Got some torpedoes. TPG. Does that have any? They don't have any payload. Let's just do thump damage. TPG colors, yeah. Yeah, just purely impact damage. Odd choice. And then torpedo interceptors. And then oh, it crashed. It crashed. Okay. Well, whatever. I'm looking at it this way. I don't want to restart. So stone and wood. So medium amount of armor. Not terrible. Everything's well spaced. And then looks like a bunch of these copycat turrets that are squash. So some have supercavitation and some do not. Or maybe it switches based on the target. I think that is what I saw Harness say on the Discord. So there's some ACBs buried somewhere that'll switch between supercavitation or no supercavitation depending on what it's shooting at. So yeah, very, very clever and unusual design. Let's do the mirror match. Hopefully that vehicle docking doesn't give me a ton of lag. Sometimes it'll be like constant collision lag. Then again, we are at fairly small sizes, so my computer can probably handle it. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be an issue. Yeah, a little bit of a spike here and there. Yeah, overall, very unique, different design. Seems pretty functional as well. It's the Gunboat Diplomacy by Harness. Next we have the Metal Militia by MrNukealizer. Right at the materials limit. Alright, first up we have the Moth into Flame. What? Oh. Coming in at the materials limit, and sort of a Deady Blade, sort of thruster craft type vehicle with spikes all over it. I imagine it's probably going to crash into its enemies and do that sweet, sweet collision damage. The steam engine. Very nice. Seems like I always manage to pick the wrong one. Shortest straw. Are you at the 5,000? Yeah, basically not really going for any armor, so glass cannon and missile should be, yeah, definitely should be effective. APN remote guidance to have the yeah, it's got enough processing, I think, to fire like one at a time. I think is how that works. So as long as it doesn't fire too quickly. Yeah, it's got the delay there, so yeah, it looks like firing one at a time for the remote guidance. And what's the damage? Yeah, not bad damage. That'll definitely hurt if it lands. So definitely a very effective sub-design for the cost. And then finally the harvester. So using paddle wheels, getting pretty incredible speeds out of that paddle wheel. How does that? Kind of abusing the clipping a little bit there. Not too bad, I guess. I'm not gonna worry about it. How is this thing not? Is that? Just curious how this part is attached. Are there light blocks somewhere in this? Yeah, I'm not sure how this middle part is attached in here. All the ammo in the center of the wheel. Hydrofoils. Keep it riding high in the water for that sweet, sweet speed. And then sabot and sabot. So it's also going to switch between, you know, regular sabot and supercavitation depending on the target. And a good sized turret here. Should be a formidable design. This one's definitely going to go deep into the tournament. All the vehicles seem heavily optimized and very, very good at what they do. A little bit sketched out about how the hell this thing is just kind of floating in here. Okay, so it's not really clipping. It kind of looks like it would be. But one, they just kind of rotate off center of each other. It's like a wheel. And then the paddles run down along. Okay, cool. Alright. That's crazy how much speed it's able to get from that paddle wheel. A little bit airborne, but nah, nothing to worry about. Yeah, and that's a little bit like, I don't know, more airborne than I intended. Should be mostly in the water. Seems like it's mostly flying, but I don't know, I guess that's just how MrNukealizer rolls. Likes to run right at the edge of what the rules allow. He was desperate for the ram. Alright, final entry. We have the Versatility by AdNecrias. Take a look at the plane first. I like the mimic block wings. Very nice. Overall, a very simplistic design. Deaded blades, 4 speed, and that sweet 100 meters a second. And what do we got for a gun? Oh, it looks like a yeah, this is a bomber type design. What's it firing? HE altitude fuse gunpowder casing. So yeah, this is an HE bomber. Very fast. Should do good damage. How much does it cost? Yeah, a little bit over, but not too much. The cough. Not to be confused with the clap. Next we'll check the menace. It's like very Spartan design, very minimalistic. Putting as much of that 6400 into these twin torpedoes. Yeah, should do a good amount of damage. And finally, the Versatility itself. Some howitzers here on the side. Main gun. Missiles as well. Yeah, radar missiles. So I'm guessing maybe anti-vehicle, anti-air. Nice stout hull. Got layers of metal and then layers of wood as well. AP00 Super Cav. Is that what it's got a underwater gun as well. Okay, so that's the Super Cav is for the underwater anti-sub gun. And then what's this big boy firing? 500mm squash. And then the side guns firing. Flak. Okay, so some flak guns are these. So you can see the controllers are these. So these are anti-air, not anti-missile. So it looks like got all the bases covered. Able to hit just about anything. And a good heavy duty hull. Overall a nice entry, a little bit more towards the utilitarian. Usually AdNecrias' stuff is a little bit more, no, I guess not always. It kind of goes back and forth between, you know, fancy looking stuff and really functional. This seems more on the functional end, although it does look nice. So we'll see how far it's able to get. I guess we'll do the final mirror match before I pass out from exhaustion. I like how those missiles launch, very cool. Yeah, seem very good at the anti-air roll. Oh, boom. I detonated that turret. Wow. So lots of damage. Alright, that is the Versatility by AdNecrias. That is all the entries. Sorry for being a little not quite as excitable as usual. It's been a long week, and I just really wanted to get this video out. Probably going to be a few days before I get to the actual battles. With a holiday and all, a little bit, you know, busy. Not gonna have much time this weekend, so probably gonna be a few days for the battles. But hopefully you guys can at least get a chance to see all the entries and get excited for the fights when they'll actually get here. All right, that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and give me that thumbs up, and